Assalamu alaikum and welcome everyone. I am Shahid Hussain, MEL expert at PMCC Gilgit-Baltistan. In today's explainer tutorial, we're going to unpack a really important step in results-based monitoring and evaluation, planning for improvement, specifically selecting your results targets. By the end of this session, you'll understand exactly what results targets are, why they are so crucial, and how to set realistic, measurable targets for your own development programs and projects. So, let's dive right in.
Here is a quick look at our learning roadmap for today. We'll be covering the introduction to results targets, the target setting formula, key target setting factors, characteristics of good targets, real-world development examples, and finally, building the performance framework. Let's start with Section 1, Introduction to Results Targets. This is the crucial next step after baselines. Okay, so you've gone out into the field, you've done the hard work, and you've collected your baseline data, right? Now what? Well, we have to establish exactly what level of improvement we actually expect from our interventions. Selecting results targets is step 5 in our framework. It sits right there, perfectly between gathering that baseline data on your indicators and actually monitoring for results. It's kind of like a deductive process. We basically flow backward from our big desired outcomes to figure out the tangible milestones we need to hit to get there.
Just so we're all on the exact same page, let's look at the formal definition. A target is a specified objective that indicates the number, timing, and location of what is to be achieved. Put simply, targets are the quantifiable levels of the indicators that an organization wants to reach within a specific time frame. They take those broad desired outcomes and translate them into concrete, measurable achievements.
Moving on to Section 2, the target setting formula, translating outcomes into achievements.
So how do we actually calculate these targets? Well, the formula is super straightforward, but honestly, it is incredibly powerful. You just take your baseline indicator level, which is your known starting point, and you add your desired improvement. Now, keep in mind, this desired improvement assumes you have a finite expected level of inputs and resources. When you combine those two, boom, you get your target performance.
Let's ground this math in a real-world development example to make it crystal clear. Imagine your baseline data shows that the current school enrollment rate in a specific district is, say, 60%. Your project aims for a desired improvement of 20% over the next few years. So, 60% plus 20% gives you a target performance of 80% by the year 2028. See how that works? It clearly helps an organization plan a realistic step-by-step path forward. Next up is Section 3, Key Target Setting Factors. This is all about balancing ambition with realism. Because, as we all know, development work isn't just simple addition on a whiteboard. Taking your baseline seriously is absolutely crucial. It's the very first factor in target setting. As the UNDP highlights, the baseline is the situation before a program begins. You literally cannot project future performance if you don't fully understand your past trends. If your baseline is flawed right from the get-go, your targets are going to be entirely unachievable.
And beyond that baseline starting point, you've got to map your targets to available resources. Ask yourself, what's the budget? Do we actually have the staff capacity and the infrastructure? Is there external donor support? Then you've got to consider the time frame. While we all love having big long-term goals, targets that go beyond 3 to 4 years become really difficult to predict accurately simply due to funding unknowns. And finally, please don't ignore political and strategic commitments. Government promises and stakeholder expectations are going to dictate priority levels, so your targets need to be highly realistic but also responsive to those commitments.
All right, Section 4, Characteristics of Good Targets, Making Them Work in Practice.
Now, good targets generally follow a framework you're probably already familiar with. They absolutely must be specific and measurable so you know exactly when you've hit them. They've got to be time-bound, giving you a crystal clear deadline. And above all, they must be realistic and based on known resources and capacities. Look, setting highly unrealistic targets just to look good on paper, that is a massive trap. It will severely undermine your program's credibility the moment you fail to deliver.
But here's a really fantastic nuance for you. What if an indicator is entirely new, or the baseline data is just a little bit uncertain? Well, your targets don't actually have to be rigid, single numbers. Target ranges are highly effective in these situations. Saying, for example, by 2027, 80–85% of secondary school graduates will be computer literate provides excellent direction while still giving you that much-needed flexibility in complex public management.
Let's move to Section 5, Real-World Development Examples, applying these concepts straight to the field.
So let's look at how these rules apply directly to massive development sector goals. Notice how proper, well-defined targets always identify three main things: the concerned group or location, the specific objective or expected change, and the precise time frame for achievement. Hitting all three is exactly how you leave zero room for ambiguity.
Let's actually compare a couple of these directly. On the economic side, we have reduce extreme poverty by 20% from baseline by 2008. Then on the social side, increase primary school enrollment by 30% from baseline again by 2008. These are distinct, very measurable steps that support broader development outcomes. You see, for massive 15-year goals, these shorter interim targets act as absolutely vital stepping stones. They make sure you don't lose your way on the long journey.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 6, Building the Performance Framework, bringing it all together.
At the end of the day, it really all boils down to this logical, step-by-step progression. Step 1, you identify the outcome you want. Step 2, you select a strong indicator to measure it. Step 3, you gather your baseline data to see exactly where you are today. And finally, Step 4, you set your target. These 4 elements, linked together like a chain, form the absolute backbone of the performance framework.
And here is what that looks like in action: a completed performance framework matrix for a national education policy. You've got your outcomes clearly listed on the left, your indicators, your baseline figures, and finally, your targets mapped out on the right. Once this matrix is complete, it stops being just another document. It becomes your essential go-to guide for planning, budgeting, resource allocation, monitoring progress, and your day-to-day decision-making. So, to wrap up our explainer tutorial today, let's quickly review the key takeaways. Targets define your expected results within a very specific time frame. They absolutely must be based on accurate baseline data and desired improvements. Setting realistic targets requires a careful, honest look at your resources and capacity. They support long-term outcomes through measurable milestones. And ultimately, setting targets completes your performance framework, which drastically improves your project's overall accountability and results.
Before we go, I really want to leave you with a provocative question to chew on. Are your organization's development targets truly balancing high ambition with realistic resource constraints? Or are they honestly just numbers on a page? Take a hard look at your frameworks this week. Thank you for joining this tutorial. I hope this session has enhanced your understanding of selecting results targets within a results-based monitoring and evaluation system. If you found this explainer useful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more meal and development management learning resources. This is Shahid Hussain, meal expert, PMCC Gilgit-Baltistan, signing off. Allah Hafiz.